And welcome back, and it is the 13th of February, further maths 5 a day, and let's have a look at today's questions. Okay, so starting with a bit of algebraic fractions. I like algebra. Yesterday was quite difficult. I'm hoping for a slightly more algebra heavy day today, because I prefer those days. Anyway, let's give this a go. So your teacher might use the word cross multiply. I don't like the term cross multiply because I think people use it incorrectly and therefore mistakes are made, but that's effectively what I'm doing here. I'm multiplying both sides by 4 and I'm multiplying both sides by 2x minus 1, and in the end that gives me 2x minus 1 squared is equal to 4. Left hand side is a quadratic, so let's expand that. So that's going to be 4x squared minus 4x plus 1 is equal to 4, and therefore that will actually, come to think of it at this stage, because I'm solving, it's probably better not to solve, is it? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave this here, and instead of doing a quadratic, I'm just going to solve it the way it is. So let's do the square root of both sides, which is 2x minus 1 equals plus minus 2. Let's add 1 to both sides, so 2x equals 1 plus minus 2, and therefore x equals a half of 1 plus minus 2. Now 1 plus 2 is 3, and 3 divided by 2 gives me 3 over 2, and 1 minus 2 is minus 1, and 1 minus 1 divided by 2 is minus a half. So first question, I've got x equals 3 over 2 or x equals minus a half. I didn't need to do the quadratic expansion, did I? Next question. All right, rationalise the denominator. This is what I often call a textbook question. You just know how to do this or you don't, work it through slowly. If it's in a non-calculator exam, obviously show all the working. If it's in a calculator exam, just make sure you're showing working as required. So I've multiplied top and bottom by whatever the negative is of the thing below. So it's a negative, so I change to a positive. And then let's just work this through slowly. So top 33 times 44 is going to be 120, 132, plus 33, what's numbers? 33 root 5. And I'm dividing all of that by 16 minus 5, which is obviously going to be 11. And that's going to give me, well, there's not much to simplify here, is there? So actually, no, there is. Of course it does simplify. 132, actually, let's write the step in between. 132 plus 33 over 33 root 5 over 11. 132 over 11 does indeed simplify down to 12, and 33 over 11 simplifies down to 3. So it means my final answer is 12 plus 3 root 5. Have I answered it in the right format? Yes, I have. Question done. Next question. Prove QS is a diameter. Now, the word prove here suggests you need to write various angle rules and show very carefully what you're doing. You can't just write some maths down. So I'm going to talk to it rather than write it because it's just a lot of stuff. So I will try and make it clear what you're doing. So to me, well, what is it? Now, QS will be a diameter if it is the case that these angles here are right angles. So what I'm basically trying to prove is that those angles add to be right angles, and therefore I'm using one of my circle theorems. What else do I know? Well, the other thing I know is the circle theorem of the cyclic quadrilateral tells you that opposite angles add to 180. So I would say as PQRS is a cyclic quadrilateral, it must be the case that x plus 5x plus 8x plus 4x must be equal to 180. And if it's a proper proof question with reasoning, I would have written down cyclic quadrilateral opposite sides add to 180. Let's do the maths anyway. So I've got x plus 5x, which is 6x, plus another 8x is 14x, plus 4x is going to give me 18x is equal to 180, which means x is equal to 10. Now, I haven't proven anything. All I've done is find out what x is. So then I would replace these with 50, 10, 80, and 40. Now I will say, in a real question, let the marks guide you here, because there's actually quite a lot to this question. I'm really skipping a lot of steps here. I'm talking to them rather than writing them, because what you would need to say is you'd need to talk about triangle QRS, and you need to explain the angle within triangle QRS, angle QRS is equal to 180 minus 50 minus 40, which is equal to 90, therefore right angle triangle. So you would say right angle triangle, and then you would allude to the circle theorem, which tells you that because it's a right angle triangle, it must therefore be the case that QS is a diameter. Like I said, there's a lot to this question, and in a way the box doesn't do this justice. So let the mark scheme guide you, but if it says explanation must be given, you need to be writing a lot of this stuff down. But hopefully I've covered most of that there. Let me know in the comments if you need more explanation here. Next question. I didn't really like that question, so as you can see, I'm quite keen to move on. Next question. Work out the matrix that transforms a unit square by 90 degrees clockwise rotation about O. So just to state the obvious, what's happening here? Well, this unit square, which is a square here that goes 1, 1, 1, 1 here, I'm rotating clockwise, which means it's going, which way does the clock go? The clock goes this way, so I'm rotating it around. So it's going to start there. Let's get rid of the arrow because the arrow is going to be confusing. It's going to start there and it's going to end up here. The way to do this, you're going to work out what happens to the point 0, 1, 0. Well, 1, 0 becomes the point 0, minus 1. So therefore, I'm going to write down 0, minus 1. Then the point 0, 1 becomes the point 1, 0. So I'm going to write down 1, 0 here. And that very quickly has given me the answer to the question, which is, it is the matrix 0, 1, minus 1, 0. Question done. Last and final question of today. Y equals this thing here. Work out the value of d2y dx squared. Now, again, quite a good question here. There's a lot to this. So first of all, differentiate twice. And secondly, I need to put x equals 2 into that thing I've differentiated. So first of all, let's rewrite the equation because I haven't done the product rule. Don't do that until later. So I need to make it into something I can differentiate. So I'm going to divide, well, let's do the step in between. So 8x5 over 2x plus x7 over 2x. And that's splitting fractions. It's one thing that people forget to do, which means I can write this, let's write it over here so I've got space, as 4x to the 4 plus a half, not 2, but a half x to the 6, which means dy dx is equal to 16x to the 3 plus, well, 6 times a half is 3, so it's 3x to the 5, and d2y dx squared is equal to 48x squared plus 15x to the 4. Wow. And then what I need to do is I need to work out that at the value x equals 2. So at the value x equals 2, dy dx squared is equal to, well, I'm going to get my calculator out and sort of do this in one. So 48 times 2 squared is going to be 192. And then 15 times 2 to the power 4 is going to be 240. So this is not a nice small number, is it? 192 plus 240 is going to give me 432. And that is a final question of today done. Today wasn't too bad. Quite enjoyed some of the questions today. Again, first one is a good example of, make sure you just read the question, think before just ploughing into maths, because sometimes a quicker way. And the rest of the questions are quite good. At say that middle question I didn't show enough, but let me know if you need me to do more in the comments and I will reply to you. And that's it for today. The usual thing, like, subscribe please, and I'll see you for tomorrow's questions. Thanks all.